Hi everyone, welcome back. And I wanted to share this channeling with you today because I've had this really big shift occur and realization happen lately that is just kind of shifting everything for me. And so I wanted to share it with all of you. And you may have seen me talk about this on Instagram, but I was listening to an Abraham Hicks video recently, and I'm going to go more expanded into what I was saying on Instagram about this because it's so much deeper and there's so many more layers to it. So I was listening to this Abraham Hicks video, and she was saying that, your vortex is waiting for you, and if only you would line up with it, it's right over there waiting for you. And my guides were just like stopped me in my tracks, and they were like, no, she's wrong. I was like, okay, well, what do you mean she's wrong? And they said, because when you say that something is over there and if only would line up with it, that's making you separate from it. And they wanted to be very clear about the semantics of how important it is to use that conscious languaging. So she might be speaking metaphorically, but still, when you keep putting it and you're teaching people some concept, it's like you have to be very specific and clear with your words, because the truth of it is that your creation is not separate from you. Your vortex of whatever it is that you're trying to create is not separate from you. And the vortex is not even really like this thing of, this device over here that's just like this container that's holding all your stuff. What it is that when knowing that we are creator beings and knowing that we, as many spiritual teachings have taught, is that we have the ability to create whatever it is that we desire if only we align with this energy of love. But even alignment is a word that makes it feel like it's something, this object that you have to come into alignment with, whether it's speaking metaphorically or not. The truth of it is that it's harmonizing with that God frequency, harmonizing with the knowingness and the realization that you are a creator being. And so instead of, I'm trying to get ahead of myself a little bit here, but so let's start with some basic mind shift going on here. So instead of using the word line up, whenever you want to start to use the word, I'm going to line up with this, or I just need to line up with it, change that word to harmonize. So the difference is like, there's something in you that's, got to line up and shift and change and all those things in order for you to really be able to attract this to you. So let's change that, because that is keeping you in this like push and pull, trying, pushing, spending your whole day is like intending and really focusing your energy on intentions. And it's just all of this energy of like trying. And so let's get out of that mode of trying and shift into creating and harmonizing. So again, instead of saying, I want to line up with something, say I want to harmonize. So this is how it looks. So like, say you're out in public with a friend and you see this really lovely couple and you're single or whatever. And you're like, oh, I just need to like meditate and, just set my intentions and really line up with that, and I'll attract it to me. That's putting it's like so much energy. It feels like it feels exhausting, doesn't it? Instead, just in that moment, when you see that couple, just look at them and say, yes, I love that kind of love. Yes, that looks beautiful. The way he's holding her and the way he's like, just snuggling against her and she's just giggling and, just in that moment, that's all you need to do. You don't need to go home and meditate and try really hard and set your intentions and get your vision boards out and all that stuff. And those things can be helpful, but only when they're used in a way that's like, I want to have these images around me that inspire me to harmonize more. Not that I'm going to sit there and focus and will my way this into being, and I feel like that's how we've been trained, and it's so exhausting. So all you need to do is when you notice something that you wish to create in your life, just say yes to it. Just say, yes, I love that kind of love. And, I love that, I see my friends on Instagram and they're in, Greece together and stuff. And yes, I love that. And it's so beautiful and they look so gorgeous together. And I love that kind of love. And And I love that kind of relationship that they have. And it's so beautiful. And I just, I feel it inside. It's just inspiring, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to go home and like make your list, blah, 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 just like when you're in that moment, just harmonize with it in that moment. Spend time harmonizing and looking at things with joy and fulfillment and excitement. Get excited about what you're seeing instead of jealous and envious of like, oh, I'm out of alignment. I need to fix myself. Like, stop trying to fix yourself. Just be in the moment and enjoy it. Just harmonize because you're a creator being. And when you're in that place of like witnessing someone, who's in a loving relationship, then, you can either get into a place of like, what's wrong with me? Why do I don't have that yet? Or being like, yes, I really love that. So the next thing is to change the word attract to create. Because when you talk about attracting something, again, it's like something outside of you has to be drawn to you because you need to fix something in yourself. And, it puts you in this place of like focusing what's wrong with you and what you're trying to attract all the time. Like, oh, I attracted that. That was my fault. Or I didn't attract that. I must not be in alignment. And it puts in this place of like guilt and shame, and I know that's not Abraham Hicks' intention, but I see a lot of you doing it and be included. I'm totally guilty of it. And speaking from experience, but it's, when you say create, that gives you so much more a sense of power. Like, I created this based on what I believe. And I can also create this based on what I believe. And I am a creator being, which just, it gives you this inspiration to be totally empowered and totally, in a place of like, I can create anything. If I can create this mess over here, I can also create this beautiful relationship over here because I'm harmonizing with that. I used to harmonize with mess. I used to harmonize with dysfunction because that was how, I learned, or what people told me, or people shamed me or blamed me my whole life, or discredited me or discarded me. And so I was taught that way, and I'm speaking from experience too, but I'm saying this for you as well, as like, look back on what you've been taught, or, how you were treated your whole life and what people made you believe about yourself, and that's the ultimate like life journey, is to realize that you are a creator being and everything that you've learned before was just, so let's talk about the 3D a little bit. So the 3D is meant to, so we're energy beings. We come into this physical world because we want to play with matter and physically form and create things like this cosmic Play-Doh because it's fun, because you can make this color and this shape and this size and this experience and this taste and this smell, and it's fun. We're meant to be here to just come and create with this color and all these senses because it's fun. Because it's fun to be creator beings. We want to create more and more and more and see what more exciting things we can create. In order to do that, we have to slow down the vibration a little bit so that we can get into those denser spaces of physical matter to be able to manipulate that physical form. And so, but it's gotten so much like focus on the separateness of things. Like, I'm separate from this couch. I'm separate from that tree. I'm separate from this person. And we focus so much more on the separateness instead of the togetherness, that it's all part of the same energy of harmonization. Harmony is the energy that creates this world, because without harmony, you can't create anything. You only destroy it, right? So when you get into this vibration, when you, I don't want to say get into, when you realize that feeling harmony allows you to create worlds, then you're just going to focus more on being harmony. Like, if you want to create something, really think of one thing you want to create right now in your life, and just hold that thought, and then think about what it is that you think you need to do to get there. And maybe it's a list of things, or like my mug, yeah, it's cute. So, but all you really need to do is just focus on being in harmony, focus on being in joy, focus on being happy. So if you feel like you've got this list of things you need to do to draw business to you, to draw a partner, and, work on myself and work out and get physically healthy and change my diet, do all these things. Just stop. Just go hang out with a friend and have fun. Just go take a walk in the woods. Just go get a massage. Go sit in a hot tub. Do something that brings you joy, because when you're in joy, I mean, that's the most attractive energy that people are like, they notice you, and I say attractive not in the sense of like you're attracting things to you, but people really notice your vibration because they feel that harmony and they're like, ooh, I want to feel that too. Like I want to be around this person, so it's just about harmonizing. And so, the 3D is meant to be that world of separation and things so that we can create these physical things that we can look at, enjoy, and smell and taste and all that. And so there is also a 3D consciousness that is very divided within the consciousness of the brain and the mind that likes to keep things separate and us and them and that kind of mentality, and it's an unfortunate side effect of being in this world of 3D where, things are separate and, can create these physical things to enjoy. But, that's what it's meant to be. And 5D is really just about like having that awareness that you can create 3D with your harmony, with your love, and not needing to fix the 3D because your family or your partner or, siblings, whatever, it's like, just don't try to fix them. They might be that role for you in your life so that you can be inspired to want to enjoy more of this 5D, be like this, this reality of like limitation, separation, fear, and us and them and all this kind of stuff mentality was meant to be a part of your life. So say thank you for that too, because, for me personally, it really just inspired me to want something else, to want something more. Like I felt like there's got to be something more than just this 9-to-5 kind of comfortable lifestyle, and, just working and, putting your nose to the grindstone and being a producer instead of a creator and being like an employee instead of an entrepreneur and somebody who's like super expanded. Like I just felt very confined in that, that type of structure. And so I had to really jump out and spread my wings. And so, it's there for you to be inspired from. It's not something for you to fix. So let the 3D be the 3D and don't try to change your parents. Don't try to shift them. Like just, when you harmonize and when you allow yourself to feel joy, and it's just going to radiate from within you. And people are going to notice that, and then they're going to be intrigued and be inspired by you and be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you so happy all the time? How everything that you came from, how are you so happy? What pills are you on? And be like, no, I just focus on harmony and I don't focus on limitation anymore. I harmonize and I do nothing, and things come to me that I desire to create, and I do nothing except just be happy all the time and just focus on doing things that bring me joy and listening to my body. When I want to rest, I rest. When I want to do a YouTube video, I do a YouTube video. When I want to focus on, doing more chores, I do that. I just I get in my flow and I just harmonize and, just really listen to where it feels harmonious for me to be in that moment instead of where I think I should be or forcing myself to be because I have to do this in order to make this happen and force myself into the system of like structure and time and money and all those things, and using this like, because often we get into this place of like the evidence of like, not having enough or not having this or lack of that to force, and it forces us back into this system of like trying to push and create and make things happen and, fear and worry and all these types of things instead of just being like, I'm a creator being. All I need to do is just sit back, take a breath, focus on harmonizing, noticing beautiful things, really appreciating the beauty around me, and just shifting my energy so that now I'm in that creator mode. Because again, love and harmony is the energy that creates worlds. I mean, just think about, look around at nature right now. Like without harmony, nature would be falling apart, but nature is constantly, like working together with each other to harmonize, to grow the trees, to go through the seasons and the fall and the tending to the soil and the trees and how everything just kind of tends to each other and lives and dies in harmony together. And there's really such an effortlessness about it. And they're just using that Schumann resonance, that creative frequency, that harmony, that love to do it together, and, if you get into a place of fear and worry and fixing and grasping in your life, what happens? Everything falls apart because you're like grasping and like holding on to this energy, and it just destroys everything. So it's time to just like take a step back and just be like, let's try something different for a little while and just focus on like listening to my inner body, listening to my inner flow. So when you harmonize with your creation and you realize that you have this creator power, then you can experience all that you wish, and you will end up having to do so much less than what you normally have to do. Like literally when I focus on something and say, oh, it'd be really nice to have this, and then I just don't think about it again, it's like, boom, there it is. But when I'm like, oh, I really want this so bad, and and I'm like meditating and tending, it's just like it never happens because I'm in this push and pull and like forceful energy. But when I just think about it and I just remain in harmony, it just boop, shows up, and like it creates right in front of me. And so it makes you realize like the more you do that, the more your creations will like just be right in front of you much more quickly. And again, like God doesn't say, I now attract this. God just creates and says like, I now create this, and it is. It's like it doesn't say like I attract this and I align with this, and like I intend to bring this into form. God just says, I now create this. Boom, there it is. Or I'd really like to have this. Boom, there it is. And when you realize that that's the power that you have, when you really just focus on being in harmony and being in joy, then you can have that creative power too. And you do. You totally do. And it's, just practice breathing and relaxing, and your creations will just form right in front of you. And I just want to mention again, this Creating with Love journal that I have really helps you to get into that place of harmony and to continually focus on building that frequency of harmony and joy and love within you, so that whatever it is that you wish to create will come to you more easily. Because within here, there's, I don't know if you can really see that there, but anyway, it just talks about focusing on what you love, and I love this because, and I intend these things in my life. And, then you focus on listening to your intuition, asking for what you need, taking little actions and things. But, action is the last step. And then you get into this place of allowing. And so, it's okay to focus on your intentions, but when you do it from a place of just casually focusing on what you love, and I want to create this, then it's not so like you're repeating this mantra over and over again. I intend to create this, and I'm going to have $1 million, and it just is like this forceful, stressful energy. Because when you can allow yourself to get in that place of love, then you can really start to listen to your intuition a little bit more, because you're not forcing and pushing and like putting your nose to the grindstone. You're just kind of sitting back and observing beautiful things. And then you start to notice that you're drawn somewhere to talk to someone, and you get this idea and this inspiration of like, I should call my friend, and then you call them and they're like, oh, by the way, I have this thing. Do you want it? And it's exactly what you were looking for, like a piece of furniture that they're giving away or something. You wanted a new couch. Here, there it is, and then you get into a place of asking. So like if you're not quite creating what it is that you create, you can say, okay, I need, like I'm trying to create this business. I'm really not good at accounting, or I'm not good at marketing. And, I just want to the other day that I don't have to do shit. You know, if I want to create something, and this is becoming my new things. You just have to harmonize. Okay. So I'll take a minute here and take a deep breath. I'm going to do a second video here, just possibly for the sake of uploading purposes. Or if you just want to watch the channeling separate and then you want to watch this separate, maybe I'll do them all together. So sorry, yeah, my video got cut off there for a minute. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to this, and just see part 2 of this video where you can listen to the Shastra Collective do a live channeling around this topic. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful, harmonious day.